What's going on, Cool Bean Cats and Kittens? It's your boy CD-ROM. Welcome to CD's Gaming. I just want to show you my controller. I forgot I had the red base, so I added the red and blue. We're going to play Fire Emblem Engage again. I just feel like I need to get closer to the end of the game because Zelda is coming up so abruptly in not abruptly, but next month, and Zelda's going to take some time to play. As you can see, I am not one of those streamers that will sit here and stream for 6, 7, 8 hours of gameplay. Then I take it piece by piece by piece, because that's what I've done my entire life. You know, you take things in pieces, and then you just save, go to the next stage, and things like that. And it also gives you time to actually understand, based on my strategy, how your strategy aligns or drastically differ, right? What you would do differently to be more successful, to cut time, or whatever the case may be, right? But also, I have so many other games that I could be streaming that are not new, and those will be fun to play. And I'm only bringing that up because I have a bit of a dilemma that's been in my head since Friday, and actually before that, all week, of losing my job. I believe that it's a strong possibility. I see where I play my role in it, but I also know that if you don't have great lines of communication because of something that happened with that person that had nothing to do with you, those communication lines have ceased for some odd reason. And so you don't feel that you can go to this person to say, hey, I'm transparent as you know me to be, because I really am at work. I don't hide or sugarcoat stuff. This is what's going on. This is how it's affecting the workflow, and this is what we need to do to change, or can we discuss what we could do to change? And I've done bits and pieces of those, right? To say, I'm unable to do X, Y, and Z because of this. I believe that we could look at this differently so it's more effective. So we're, basically not dropping the ball on particular responsibilities. But then you get crickets, or there'll be a sly comment to say, "Well, I know you mentioned this, but here we are again in the same situation." Blah 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 blah. And you're like, "Well, nothing's changing." So then you stop becoming a proactive person, right? And you become reactive. Then now it looks negatively on you, and that's where I fell, right? So I definitely own my own responsibility in it. But people never look at how you got to that reaction. It's like we have all these things in place, and here's all the things that I thought I was trying to do to make things better for not just me, and it's certainly not to make things easier, but that would be helpful, right? In any job that you have. So you just kind of say, all right, well, I'm pretty much done. When you can't really find any other avenues outside of just being a problem, quote unquote, then you're ready to go. And that's kind of where I'm at. After all of last week and all this stuff, I keep getting new responsibilities without training. There's no communication that should be had, but I get reprimanded for doing the new stuff I don't know how to do incorrectly, right? I don't understand why I get reprimanded for that. If there's no training, then obviously I'm not going to do it right. I'm not all knowing, you know? Especially working with a company where, in this particular department, the most people who have been there the longest are on this separate side of the section of our department. They've been there years. For the rest of us, less than 2 years, right? And for me, the foundation outside of my boss, who's not providing the communication and the training that should be provided, this is the third company in a row that I have worked with where I've been in this same situation. And if you find yourself, and it's hard to say that you're the common denominator in all those situations, but if you find yourself that after a while, you start a new position, you've been there X amount of time, you see a decline in communication and training, which are two key important components of any new hire, of any employee at any job, then you yourself start to not decline with it, but you scale back and you go into the quiet quitting mode, as they call it now, where you're just going to do what's in your scope of work. You're not going above and beyond, whatever above and beyond may mean to you. And for me, it's taking on new work that's not a part of my scope of work, which is so strange that it just keeps coming to me, and I don't understand. You've hired X amount of people. Why is that new work not going to them? You see what I'm saying? So Friday was a big blow up for me because I was just irritated, and I didn't really care who heard what I had to say. I really didn't. In the moment, did not care. Do I regret it? Absolutely not. Now, do I understand any consequences that may come from it? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm absolutely fine with it if I lose my job. I think most people would rather get fired or laid off because you can claim unemployment, you can do all these other things in the meantime. When you just quit your position without a backup or without another job, then it becomes a little bit more of a challenge for you to survive, especially in this society. But anyway, bringing all that up to say, because once you lose your income, you have no money to purchase things, i.e., video games. And me just starting out as a streamer in December of last year because I love video games. I never knew why. I never sat here to try to figure out how to do streaming a long time ago. Yeah, so I I could on this list just say forget it. I'm going to reserve and buy every single game while I have the money that I want to play this year, and just do that. I absolutely can do that, and just not have to worry about doing what I'm doing now, and just maintaining upkeep of other things. But yeah, just wanted to point that out. Trying to get through some of these games, and just a little backstory of why I'm semi rushing through some of them, just so I can have time to play other games as well. But we all know that for the most part, there's enough time to do a lot of things that we want to do. And I know there are a lot of other streamers out there who focus on one game and one game only for a while, then they jump to the next game. I want to play multiple games at the same time that are out and that are current, so people have various perspectives of other streamers playing that game versus someone sitting through powering through a game, which is awesome too. I've watched them and I'm just like, wow, I'm amazed if I can dish out a game in a weekend and be like, yeah, this is going to be it from Friday I get off work until Monday I go back to work. We are going to play this game nonstop. Yeah, there may be a game that would come up that could be like that, but the games that I have in mind aren't really like that, except for like Street Fighter. I'd probably sit here and do something like that. But Street Fighter, as a fighting game, story mode isn't really the greatest for most fighting games. It's all about the fighting and leveling up your characters and doing certain things, right? So I have a list, and I'm just thinking about it, trying to figure out if I want to purchase certain games and reserve them now and just have them paid in full and then just get them when they come out, and then I don't have to worry about it later trying to figure out how to pay for them if I lose my job. Because again, very strong possibility that can happen. Funny part would be, I think I would start to notice, because they probably wouldn't want to let me go until they had a way to train someone else on what I'm doing. Because there are various parts of what I do that no one else knows how to do but me. And would I be willing to share that knowledge? Hell no. That's called job security. If any millennial, Gen Z, or new generation alpha, if you're old enough to work, which I hope you're not in this country, let it be known that boomers and Generation X, that is one key skill that I would give anyone. And once you know how to do something that no one else knows how to do, you got job security. And once you leave and they find out that you knew how to do something and no one else knows how to do, they're going to panic and scramble and try to figure it out, but they never will. So, glad that y'all would listen to that. I thank you for that. But we're going to look at this because now talking about Zelda, the Tears of the Kingdom, I want to watch this clip that just came out on the Nintendo Switch. So let's see what this is about.
Hello everyone, I'm Eiji Aonuma, producer of the Legend of Zelda series. First, I have some news. Development on The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is now complete. Thank you very much for waiting.
Love it.
Many of you are looking forward to this game, and we've released a few trailers so far. Although it'll just be a brief glimpse, I'm going to actually play the game for you all today and show you what it's like. Okay? Let's begin. Here we are in the land of Hyrule. Like The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, there's a vast world to explore. Of course, it's not just the same world as is. It's changed in many ways. If we talk about all of the changes today, we'll run out of time, so we hope you'll seek them out for yourself when the game launches.
You can already see a lot of the changes.
In this game, the vast world of Hyrule reaches high into the sky. You'll notice some landmasses floating up there. We call them Sky Islands. You're probably wondering something. How do you get to the Sky Islands when they're so high up? If we take a look, oh, something's falling from the sky. Do you see it? I wonder what that is. Let's head over to it.
The green thing up there in the upper right.
We're almost at the spot where the object fell.
I tell you, you gotta be
Here
careful
it is.
climbing these walls, though.
Okay, let's use one of Link's new abilities. If you do this on the rock that just fell, look, it started rising. This power is known as Recall, which rewinds an object's movement. Since I just used Recall on the fallen rock, I can now rise into the sky. We're a lot closer to the Sky Islands. Let's use the paraglider to reach one of them. There are a few other Sky Islands floating here too. I made it. There are lots of ways to reach the Sky Islands, so we hope you'll try a few different methods. Okay, now we're on a slightly bigger Sky Island. Just like on the surface, there are several man-made structures. Some trees are also growing here. You won't see many of those yellow trees on the surface, though. Let's walk around for a bit. There's a branch on the ground. When you find something like this, you should pick it up. It might come in handy later. Let's continue. Oh, something's there. This is a brand new enemy called a construct.
Yeah.
We'll fight it using the branch we just picked up. Ah, the branch broke. Not good, not good. Quick, get another branch and... we defeated it. Moving on.
Like horn. Okay.
We've now explored more of this Sky Island. As expected, fighting with just a branch won't get us very far. Also, this branch is almost broken. So here's another one of Link's new abilities. If we use this branch and the rock over here, and do this, look, we can stick them together. We created a makeshift hammer. This is called Fuse. You can stick objects together to create new weapons with various effects. Let's take on another construct with this fused weapon.
Awesome.
We're dealing with two of them at once. Oh, we beat one. The weapon's attack has definitely improved. The other branch broke, but this weapon has much better durability. You can do all sorts of things by experimenting with the fuse ability. You can fuse two weapons, for example. If we take this long stick and fuse it with a pitchfork, we can create a weapon with a much longer attack range.
That's okay.
With this, we don't have to get too close to enemies, and we can safely attack from a distance. You can also fuse arrows with materials in your inventory. For instance, try fusing this leaf to an arrow. Fuse an ice elemental material to an arrow and you can freeze faraway enemies. Very useful.
Come on, man.
In addition,
Yeah.
let's see. Oh, there's a bird flying around. If you're out hunting, you might feel that aiming with an arrow is too difficult. Apparently, my eyes can't track fast-moving objects as of late, so my shots rarely land. So, at times like these, here's an eyeball you can get by defeating monsters. Fuse it to an arrow and... look, it homed in on the target. Let's try this on another bird. I'll just fire in that general direction. It's very simple. Depending on what you stick together, the fuse ability could also be beneficial for hunting. I fused a mushroom to my shield. Now, you're probably wondering if this has any use. Well, this mushroom is actually a puff shroom. Let's fight an enemy with this. I blocked with the shield. Okay, there's smoke now. The enemy's lost sight of Link, so... attack! Even if you struggle with combat, you can take down enemies using similar methods. In the previous game, you'd usually get powerful weapons by defeating strong enemies. But in this game, fusing even the weakest weapon with something else could turn it into a useful weapon. There are even more gameplay options for sticking things together. Let me demonstrate. Some of the Sky Islands even have rivers. We'll want to cross this one, but swimming across it, well, the river's too wide for that. We need a boat. Of course, there isn't anything that resembles a boat around here. So, we'll lift up this log and attach it to a second log. Let's do one more. We'll bring this over here and attach a third log. It's a makeshift raft. This is another new ability called Ultra Hand. Even though the logs are currently attached, they can be detached. Let's modify the shape of the raft. You can always attach things or detach them like this. Now, if we put this on the water, it's made of wood, so the buoyancy will keep it afloat. We've made a simplified version of a boat. However, it won't move in its current state, so we'll need something to propel it forward. There's something here. Let's try hitting it. Oh, wind. It's blowing wind. Looks like we found a fan. Why don't we try attaching it? We'll attach another one. This should make the boat well balanced.
I was gonna ask, like, would it have to be on the end, but it's like on the top at the end. So that's
Okay, they're attached. Alright, let's try moving the boat. Hey, it's moving. It's sailing pretty fast with the wind from the fans.
Nice.
Since we added two fans,
So
we
nice.
should be able to cross the river in no time.
That is so nice.
Alright, we reached the other side. In the most recent trailer, we showed scenes of Link riding a large car and a flying machine.
Yeah.
Those vehicles actually aren't in the game from the start. Instead, you'll be able to freely craft them on your own. There are all sorts of objects you'll come across in this game. And depending on how you use your imagination, you can do a lot with them. So, try crafting different things and explore this world at your leisure. There are even more new abilities. Take this building over here. Okay, watch this. Look, I passed right through the ceiling. This new ability is called Ascend. If you're in a place with a ceiling, you can go through to the floor above you. There are some restrictions, but what's great about this ability is that as long as there's a ceiling, you can use it anywhere. For example, this place has a cave with a hill right above it. If we use the ability here, come on, keep going. Okay, we emerged at the top of the hill. In the previous game, you had to use stamina to climb a mountain, but in this game, if there's a mountain with a cave like this one, you can now get to the top without having to climb all the way up. Here's another example. Imagine you're stuck in a cage. If it's got a ceiling, you know what to do, right? Exactly. Oh, there's another construct. It seems to be holding a strange weapon. Some enemies are equipped with fused weapons, so battles will play out a bit differently from the previous game. Ah! It blew me away with wind. Looks like it's got some sort of fan. Ah! I got pushed off! Ah well, let's just return to the surface. You can quickly descend from the sky to the surface like this. It feels so good. In the sky, you'll be able to look out across the land. You can also search for destinations that pique your interest. Once you've chosen your destination, you can speed things up, like this. Let's dive into this river.
And survive.
And we're back on the surface. There are still so many things I'd like to show you, but let's leave it at that for now.
Is that a pterodactyl?
What did you think? Some of Link's new abilities were updated from the previous game. I'm sure some of you watching me play were thinking, wait, if you could do that, then maybe you could do this too. In this game, you can do a lot of things just by thinking about what's even possible. There's still a lot of new gameplay, mysteries, and encounters we couldn't show today, but they're all jam-packed into this unfamiliar Hyrule, and we hope you'll use your imagination to explore it. That's all for today. Thank you for watching.
Okay, I'm at the... Because that took longer than I thought. I'm about to go back and we'll have to do another stream for the game. That was so dope. I want the Joy-Cons, but I don't think they're going to sell them separately. Nice. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. $428.23. So maybe you can get the Joy-Cons on April 28th. That was really cool. So now I'm going to have to redo the stream and just focus on the game. But I just wanted to show that that this is coming out. Yes, comparing this to Breath of the Wild, it is a lot more going on. And you have a lot more land to explore on the ground and in the sky. I mean, just wow. That damn near, well, I mean, blew my mind away. I mean, that was cool. It was cool. Now, some people may talk about, the graphics stuff. I'm not looking at all that. I'm just talking about just the gameplay in general. was really amazing, and I'm really, really excited. It's been a long time for a new Zelda game that's just like Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild came out with the Wii, the original Wii. That was in 2007, 2008. It's 2023. Wow, amazing, amazing. Okay, I'm gonna literally be right back. I'm gonna stop this, and I'm gonna rename it. And then I'll post it later. We'll come back and we'll do Fire Emblem Engage. Okay, I'll be right back. All right.